Hello and welcome to Radically Aligned. I'm so excited to have you on this journey with me. My name's Vicky Chisholm. I'm going to be your host. We're going to be exploring all things alignment in business and in your soul. We're going to be bringing together some amazing episodes to help you cultivate the alignment that works for you so you can have soul-aligned business success. But more importantly, we're also going to be bringing in guests for interviews so you can learn not just from me, but from experts all over the world. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello and welcome back. Let's dive in to soul wounds. Now, you may have heard witch wounds, healer wounds, or the wounded healer. You may have heard of past lives. You may have heard of witches, demons, all that kind of stuff, right? But what we don't hear much is how are we going to heal the soul wounds, okay? Now, why am I bringing this to business? Vicky, why the fuck are you talking about soul wounds in business? Right, so let me get to the nut of this before we go any further, okay? The reason I'm bringing this in now is because when you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you're trying to grow your business, there are soul wounds that hinder your progress, stop you from showing up, stop you from getting out there, stop you from delivering, and stop you from being the beacon of light that is a member of community and service, okay? Now, I have gone through so many different witch wounds. So I want to make it a little bit more normal that we actually deal with this shit, right? Rather than it just being woo-woo, it's actually not woo-woo. It's actually deep embodied work that we have to unbody so that we can do what we want to do and how we want to deliver and how we want to be, right? Okay, so we've got that out the way. I'm bringing it to you in business because if we don't deal with the soul stuff, you're not going to elevate and move in the directions that you want to move. So we have to take action now. Okay, next step then. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, let's understand what a soul wound is and how it shows up for you, right? Now, when we're talking about soul wounds, some people will refer to them as witch wounds. Some people will refer to them as past life contracts. Some people will say, oh, you need to go into your Akashic records. Either way, excuse me, it doesn't matter. We have to connect with the soul wounds that are holding you back. Some people will call this a subconscious block. Some people, excuse me, will call this the unseen, okay? But it's not unseen. You do feel it in your body. It is an energy and it is something that you can overcome. So I host witch wound healing sessions. Now, the reason I do that is because I have seen fucking amazing healers, energy transformation workers, light workers, all hiding, freaking hiding, because they're too afraid of being seen due to a witch wound or soul wound that has been holding them back. Now, I would love this to become more open conversation, more spoken about, more normal, because the more we can elevate this, the more we can bring this to the table, the more empowering it's going to be. So let's dive into recognizing a soul wound. If you have a soul wound, there are many things that will happen to you on repeat. And I mean repeat. And it will be different elements. So it could be that you've got a soul wound in relation to love. It could be that you've got a soul wound in relation to money. It could be you've got a soul wound in being seen, visibility. So when we're talking about witch wounds specifically, we're talking about fear of persecution, fear of being judged the wrong way, fear of other people's opinions, fear of rejection, fear of being persecuted for speaking your truth. These all show up in business. And it's like, how can we reclaim our power when we are living under past life wounds, right? So a witch wound is very much a past life wound that you've brought into this world on a soul level that is then projected into your business. And then you find yourself sitting there saying, well, you've guided me to do this and I'm following the inner guidance and I'm listening to the up above and I can feel this is where I'm meant to be, but this isn't working. I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out, I'm not able to put things into place, or I plan what I'm going to do and then I don't action it because something inside me is holding me back and I don't know what it is, and I've tried unpicking it, and you end up in this huge ball of confusion, frustration, resistance, and I just want to freaking scream at the world, right? Now, I know this because I've been there, I've done that, I've got the freaking t-shirts, okay? So if you've bought my book, Radically Aligned, you will have known in chapter 6, we uncover understanding soul wounds and how they impact your business and sabotage your life and dreams. We have to break the programming, not just from childhood. Now, I do see a lot of people going, oh, it's in a child, it's in a child. Actually, a lot of the time, this goes deeper. So one of my clients jumped on a call with me and she was like, oh, I can't cope anymore. I just need to break free. I'm like, okay, we can break you free. It's not a problem. So what we did in that call is we called the timelines together and we visualized and we saw everything we needed to see. Now, I've had clients do this work with me, and we don't just clear one witch wound, we clear as many as we can or that you're ready to let go of in one session. So we bring it all, right? I hold space for you, and it's just really, really powerful how this works. So we call all of the wounds forward. Now, obviously, we could all sit here and go, I'm just going to call forward all my witch wounds and they're just going to be dissolved and sent out. Unfortunately not. It doesn't quite work like that unless you have evolved to the point in your energy work that you are able to hold that, right? If you can hold that, then absolutely great. Carry on, go do the work that you need to do. If you haven't reached that level yet where it's easy for you to dissolve the energies that you've been holding on to and release them, then we take you through a process, okay? But the first thing is you have to understand what that witch wound is. So I had witch wound of visibility. I've had witch wounds of persecution. I've had witch wounds of fear of judgment. I've had witch wounds of fear of success, because in former lifetimes, I was stuck being persecuted for having a voice, for being a powerful person, for stepping into the truth of who I really am, and then suffering the consequences of that. That then repeated in this lifetime and through all my school years, and then into early adulthood, into careers, and it showed up as bullying. So as soon as I started doing really well, someone would come along and sabotage it. It showed up in ways of management where they felt threatened by me. So they would demoralize me and blame me for stuff and, put things on me. Okay, fine. I dealt with that. I moved past that. And then I came into business. And every time I started moving forward in business, I was hit with hurdles consistently. And I thought, what is going on? And then I started to recognize the patterns. Every time I rise, something happens to bring me down. Every time I move, something happens to bring me down. Every time I get an idea that I want to run with, and I'm running with it, and then something pulls the rug from underneath me to stop me in my tracks. This is what we call a pattern. Okay. Now, yes, it can come under the subconscious programming patterns. It could come under NLP. It can come under all kinds of different variants, right? It's language. But ultimately, there is something here. Okay. When you understand what the pattern is that's holding you back, you have knowledge, you have power, and you have opportunity. It's when you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the power and you don't have opportunity to make the changes that you want to change. So I remember when I was I came into this world of spirituality and started expanding in it and learning more and then looking at it, and I felt so cold. Like my whole body ran ice cold when I received the download. I have to heal witch wounds. I have to heal them. It's something that came to me. It's something that I had to run with. So I did a 3-day challenge. I onboarded clients to work with me on it. And my goodness, the power in that was just phenomenal. So then I asked the question, why? Why do you want me to heal witch wounds and soul wounds? What is my purpose for this? And it comes down to my key purpose of this, right? My purpose in business is to help more spiritual entrepreneurs get out there, because I believe that the more spiritual entrepreneurs we have in this world doing good, creating change, facilitating transformation, empowering people, giving out that knowledge of what is possible, then I'll be serving my purpose and we together can change the world. Yes, I know I sound crazy. Don't really care what other people think about that. It's just the way that it's my mission. This is my global mission. The more spiritual entrepreneurs we can rise, the more we can elevate, the more we can move mountains, the more change we can create, the more the future generations are going to be able to confidently use these spiritual gifts that we all have to change the way things are done. And it doesn't mean that we have to be afraid of that change anymore. We can actually lean into changing the world peacefully, joyfully, one ripple effect at a time. And every ripple effect leads to a tidal wave of change. And this is what I believe we need. So here's a little exercise for you, okay? Who would you be if you didn't have a witch wound? Ponder that for a moment. Think about it, okay? Who would you be if you didn't have a witch wound? Now, there is another question to ask here, okay? Now, don't forget, some of these are trick questions. You can literally place your hand over your heart space and you can just ask the question, am I carrying a witch wound that I'm yet to heal? Listen to it. Listen to yourself. Trust in the answers that you were given. Don't let the ego question them. Because it's in this information that you get the knowledge and the opportunity to change your life. When we allow soul wounds to impact our future, we're not leading with love and light and leadership. We're leading from victim mindset, trauma, and disempowerment. But I know deep in your heart, there is so much more that you want to give to this world. There is so much more that you are here to do and to achieve. And those soul wounds, it's time to let go. Now, being a spiritual entrepreneur, you'll be aware that there are thousands of modalities out there that can help you do this work. Thousands. There is no right or wrong. There is trusting in the guidance to allow that space for it to be facilitated. So when I'm working with witch and soul wounds with my clients, whether they're feeling stuck, frustrated, resistant, stagnant, whatever it is that's coming up from, whatever the symptoms are, I deal with them and I allow my toolbox to step forward and guide me to where I need to go. So I have my toolbox, and my toolbox enables me to facilitate that healing. I call it healing, actually. That's the wrong word. To allow the energy shift to occur so we no longer have to stay stuck in a place of where we need healing. Now, this is something that I have recently become more empowered with, and that is when we are using the words healing and I've got to heal this, I've got to journey to release this, we are actually giving our power away to the story that has got stuck in our system. But if you backtrack a little bit here, now I know this is probably really in depth, but I'm trusting it and I'm going with it. When you actually connect to the energy, not the story, and you shift the energy out, you don't have to stay stuck in that story of journeying through healing. What happens is you become empowered, you become elevated, and you become as one. If you are just starting out in this journey, this might seem too much for you, and that's okay. All right. When I first started out in this journey, I was so disempowered that when someone said to me, you can shift this energy, I was like, no, I can't. I have to go through the process. Okay. So, like I said, there is no right or wrong, but when you are ready to hear that, then you'll be able to deal with it. Okay. So, if you are on the healing journey right now and you're happy working through the stories, that's absolutely fine. There's no judgment. But when you raise your vibration and you move into a higher state, that's when you'll be stepping into, I'm going to shift this energy today. I'm going to work through this energy today. I'm going to allow this energy to be elevated from my system so that I can move beyond this. And that is the difference of the levels of healing and the expansion that you will go through as a spiritual entrepreneur as well. Okay. So here's something that you can do. Here's something that I want you to do. And that is look at your business. What is the persistent pattern that you have now that could potentially be a soul wound that just needs dissolving? Look at your business. Go and do an audit. If you can't do it by yourself or you feel that you'd like some support, then reach out to me and let's get you booked in for a psychic business audit. This way I can tap into your energy. I can look and see what the soul wounds are, where they're presenting themselves in your business and in your body. And it's only 15 minutes and we will get to transform you. Okay. So go find the link, go do the work, whatever action you feel you need to take, go do it. But you can grab the book from Amazon, Radically Aligned. You can join my membership, book a free psychic business audit. All the links are around somewhere around this video. Go find them. And I'll speak to you soon. I'll see you in the next episode. Good luck. That's a wrap for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit subscribe and we'll see you in the next one. All these episodes are created in line with my book, Radically Aligned. Go check it out on Amazon, grab a copy, and let's get you started. At the back of the book, they'll also find a QR code where you'll get access to some amazing resources. You don't want to miss it. See you in the next episode.